Well, it's great to see you again.
You
We're
too,
always
buddy.
so happy to talk to you, and you always have a positive message for us, whether it's in the music, now it's in the
Mm,
film. But my goodness, what a movie! What a story! And you start to
mm.
think, how could this happen and still have a positive end result? But here you are, you're living proof, right?
Yeah, well, it's very kind, man. I love our journey so far with you in music and getting to celebrate these points together. And now just to step into movies. And look, the truth is, Paul, this is the definition of a passion project, right? This is our mom and dad. This is their, migration from Australia to America. This is music. This is celebrating moms and celebrating miracles and I had the real distinct pleasure and privilege not only to co-write and co-directed it with Richard Ramsey, but also to play my own dad in the
Yeah.
film, which is again, it's just such a close to home experience. And my MO with it is, man, if the closer I've always felt this with music, the closer that you go to your own heart in art, the more it resonates and reaches out to someone else's. And that's what for me, yes, it's a 90s film and it's 90s music and it's Jesus Jones and it's Rod Stewart and it's Lenny Kravitz and Seal and all the Michael W. Smith and all the rest of it. Yes, it's our parents' story. It's our sister Rebecca and James' story. It's an adventure story. It's a drama. But more than that, it's from my heart and our heart to yours. And I hope that came across in it.
Oh, it absolutely did, and then of course, in addition to all the great music that we get to hear again, of course we get a little bit of Stryper, we get a little Amy Grant, we go Michael W. Smith. Come on,
Ooh, oh, Striper! Man, Striper. The film. Not to spoil it too much for people, but the
yeah,
film opens with Striper at the Sydney
right,
Opera House. Some of my first memories, Paul, were like the Yellow and Black Attack,
amazing.
Striper, looking at their vinyl 45 records, and so yeah, I love the music parts of it as well. It's really special.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, people have been looking up to you for years and thinking that's what I want to do, and now, of course, they see it in this too. What kind of advice do you give to the people that want to follow in your footsteps?
One of the things that I love about what's depicted on screen, Paul, in this film is, yes, the power of family, of course, but also the power of community rallying around someone, rallying around a dream, rallying around an idea. And we wouldn't be in America if it weren't for the local community and the local church in Nashville, Tennessee. And so I hope that when people look at what it means to actually step into the arts or what it means to chase your dreams, it's not a don't be a one man's band. It's not a solo sport. Like the beauty of a fulfilled dream is inviting other people into the dream, inviting other people into the idea. And so find a way, and there's compromise in that, and it's vulnerable and it's uncomfortable at points, but find a way to build people around you who believe in you, who see you, who know you, and have the same shared vision. That's where I think the magic is. And it's tough in 2024, even more than it was in 1991, because with smartphones and social media and the internet and iPads and all the rest of it, we can live really isolated. We can live really in a comparison culture. Um, but there's something about living in community. I think it's the best way to live, man. I think it's the best way to be human. I really do.
Yeah. Yeah, well said. My co-host Drew Pearson, one of our great Dallas Cowboys, went in the Hall of Fame. Of course, he caught the Hail Mary, which
Yeah.
we know is a pop culture term now. And he wanted me to make sure that I asked you your Hail Mary moment, which is that moment in your life or career where you just had to go for it and it worked out for you. What do you suppose that was for you?
Man, I'm not just saying this because we're here promoting this
Yeah,
movie, but
yeah,
this movie has been the Hail Mary of all Hail Marys. And you
yeah,
can tell them that. Because think about it, man. I didn't set out and go, I'm gonna co-direct and co-write with Richard Ramsey and and play my dad in a movie. I didn't set out to I did think it would be very novel for me to play my own dad, but the other components sort of came around it. And the further on we've gotten into it, the more I'm like, this is terrifying and terrific and sometimes torturous and sometimes spectacular and I didn't I'm sitting in the Lionsgate offices today doing all of this press and I just didn't I don't know. It's it's the sort of, not only is it the project that's most close to home because it is my family story, but even it really celebrates the house that built for Key and Country, in that this was all the music and this was the family and it was traveling with Rebecca. It was all these things. So it's been so rewarding. But man, it's been the Hail Mary of all Hail Marys. And it still is. Like April 26th. Here's the thing about movies. With music, you have years to promote an album. You have, if you do a tour, you have months to sell tickets. Movies, you decide
Yeah.
on that night, we should go to movies tonight, And so my charge to Dallas and to the viewers and to the listeners is, if you love music, if you love your mum, if you love miracles, if you love your family, and you want to see these sorts of things in the cinemas,
Yeah.
come out on the April 26th, April 27th, April 28th. We're calling it Family Day at the theaters, and we're excited to share this with the world.
Yeah, well, we're excited for you. I really love your outlook. Before we let you go, we talk about that success mindset on the show. Is there something that you keep in mind that keeps you on the right path even when things are tough? Because as evidenced in the movie, things do get tough.
Yeah. Look, as people say, there are ditches on both sides of the road. And what that means to me is, like, you can, as a creative, you can pacify yourself to death and fall into that ditch of, like, your art doesn't mean anything. It doesn't have any, it's not vivacious or vibrant. And then on the other side of the ditch, on the other side of the road, is you can just, you can be too much of a one man's band, or you can be too sort of aggressive about things. And you got it. There's none of them. There's not exclusive. You have to work with people. You have to compromise. But then you also have to find those moments where the passion, and you have to hold them in balance. Because to me, that's what it's like, to use a musician term. It's the strings on a piano. Those strings are pulled into incredible amounts of tension.
Mm-hmm.
And it's when you hold the tension in the perfect way that it creates harmony. And so find the tension and hold the tension as best. You're not going to get it perfect. You're sometimes going to get out of tune, but hold the tension as best you can, because that's when harmony happens. And I love harmony.
Yeah. That's beautiful. Thank you so much for being with us. Thank you for making this film and giving us a good, positive message. We need it right now in the world. We're going to tell everybody, check it out in the theaters, and then hopefully we'll get you coming back to play soon in the great state of Texas.
We'll be back. I think we've been in Texas more than any other state other than our home state so far this year, for the record.
Absolutely. Well, hey, thank you again. We're so proud of you. Appreciate you as always. Talk to you soon.
Thank you, Paul. Good to see you, man. Keep rocking.
Right. See you. Thank you so much. All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.